with Marquesa
Yay!
Pettway here in New York City. I'm a business reinvention expert. I help entrepreneurs create six-figure signature systems. And today I have the pleasure of speaking to a fellow National Speakers of Association member. She's actually on the board of directors for PSA, also known as the Professional Speakers Association in Australia. And let me tell you a little bit about Tarran Deane. She is the founder of Corporate Cinderella, and she has rapidly become one of Australia's most loved boutique firms. She works with leaders from across diverse sectors, combining capability and compassion with drive and discernment. And her core team personally invests in the success of organizational and individual clients. She's often all over radio shows. She's a frequent guest, and she's a staple, I may be saying that wrong, stable in Australia media. Big wig. I love this. And you will see her speaking in Southeast Asia, New Zealand, Australia, Austria. She even has a virtual team, guys, in Southeast Asia, Canada, the Philippines, and Austria. Wow, lots of this. Well, I asked Tarran, I said, first of all, Tarran, welcome to Speaker Magazine Live.
Hey, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be with you. This is brilliant.
And it's so funny. It's Friday for me and it's Saturday for you.
That's right. Saturday morning on a long weekend, no less. So this is part of me investing back in this family. I love this community. So honored to be here and let my husband go motorbike riding while I get to hang out with you guys. That's awesome.
Well, we appreciate it. I've asked you to share with us the same thing that's going to be in the column, guys, so make sure you read it. It should be in the December issue. Tarran is going to share her big move as a professional speaker. So hit us with it. What is something, a big move, it could be a strategy or whatever it is that you decided to grab onto? What is that big move and what are the results of that big move?
Oh, look, it's a great question. And through the last 5 years since developing Corporate Cinderella, I certainly set about developing the business before I set about developing myself as a speaker. This was a speaking business. So when I approached this, Marquesa, I was looking at it from what is going to position Corporate Cinderella as the go-to leadership firm. And I knew I needed to step out from behind the scenes and become the front person for that and leverage my name. The spelling's a little bit difficult for my name, so Corporate Cinderella was a good fit. And I looked at so much of the learnings and sharings that had taken place with CSPs and other professionals around the need to get a show reel. So I went to market. I looked at some of the great works that had been done by other people. But there was one that really caught my eye that was a little bit different. And it was a video that had been filmed of someone here that is really high up in the coaching space and using webinars to grow their business. And I looked at the way his story had been portrayed by this particular film producer. So I went to Michael Hansen, and this was my big move. I gulped when I learnt of the investment, but I was captivated around his ideas to help position me as an authority in this space. And it wasn't ever going to be a traditional speaker show reel. It was something far more than that. And listening to Michael, and this is where I believe one of the big moves is getting the right people on your team who catch your vision for what it is that you want to do and are then able to draw that out of you. So the big piece for me was saying yes to doing a video that positioned me as a go-to authority. Michael's take on this was to create a manifesto and a mini documentary. So we ended up with footage that was 3 minutes and 6 minutes in length. And I also had him produce a 30-second element for me that I could use as a video introduction when I come on stage, when I'm being introduced by MCs, whether I'm running my own events, I'm able to position people's attention to the screen, shift the energy in the room, and take ownership of how we start and how we finish. So the key piece was this manifesto video. It was extraordinary. Marquesa, I'm just going to ask you to unmute.
Oh, well, see, sorry about that. I muted. I was in this loud.
I was so excited.
Sorry about that.
I wanted to hear what you had to say.
That's what I get for muting and forgetting to unmute. You mentioned that you got a 30-second, 3 minutes, and what was the other length of it?
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
33 and 6. That's exactly right.
What did you think about? A lot of speakers are listening to this and they're saying, this is a great idea, but what should I prepare us outside of an investment in order to be ready for something like this? I mean, I'm thinking wardrobe, makeup artists, there's so many different elements that go into this.
Yeah, the whole lot. One of the things that I was very conscious of was that I had created a whole lot of material, and the risk was that if I was to do this by myself, I would get to 80% completion and fail to launch it. So the best decision I made was to put myself in the hands of a producer, basically, not just someone that was going to edit my video. So I was very much in the driver's seat along with Michael, my producer, and I looked at this from what was the message that I wanted to share. So that, of course, then influenced my wardrobe. I ride Ducati motorcycles. They feature quite a bit in my keynotes. I talk about different aspects. The way that we run our 7 signature leadership elements, I use as spokes on a wheel. So I will actually go in and sketch the bike model. So this was really important to me, that the bike featured in what I did. It was also a unique selling point. It was positioning me as having a strong brand in conjunction with our company Corporate Cinderella, and was causing people to rethink whatever their perceptions may have been around the brand name. So corporate is around bringing teams of people together corporately in unity. Cinderella speaks about transforming results. I wanted to show people how to drive results. I wanted to show people that I had changed from a horse and carriage to horsepower. And here's what it's going to take. This is how it's going to move you. But also that we come alongside people. And so designing the storyline took a lot of work. Before the 3 days of filming was roughly 5 days of briefing. I also knew that when you're being filmed riding a motorcycle by a car that's following you, you need to make sure that you look okay from behind, so that there's elegance there, and there's still adaptability, and there's no airs and graces, but it's stylish. It speaks to different audiences. It doesn't alienate the more conservative or make people think that there's anything less than elegant about, a 40-something lady on a motorcycle who's not having a midlife crisis. So this is really important. You've got to prepare your values and be really clear on why you're doing what you're doing. Secondly, it's also making sure that you have a team member that comes alongside you, such as a producer, who catches your vision and is able to help draw out the essence of the message that you want to convey. Thirdly, always ensuring what the end looks like to you. And are you prepared to go through that journey? In my conversations with my producer, I wanted very clearly to have something that set me apart in the marketplace. That was going to require a cost, an investment. And as Michael said to me, you need to be prepared that you may actually lose sales in the short term. That is the smaller purchases, while you're positioning yourself up there with the high-end brands. So I needed to reconcile that and be okay with setting myself out in front as a brand and letting the market catch up, so that those people that I wanted to work with, I didn't need to convince them about price. They were sold on value. And so this video piece became very much a way of expressing the value that I bring to leaders. In terms of the wardrobe, 3 outfits, because there were 3 different elements. There was me walking I have keynote speaking at conference workshops in my portfolio. I also do executive coaching, which I work with high-end leaders across mining, tourism, accounting, not-for-profits, education, and more recently manufacturing, which is really interesting. That's the power of pull for me, that big decision with the video. That's selling me, and people are getting a feel for me before they even pick up the phone. So there's no convincing. The third outfit was in the coffee shop where, the walking outfit at Burleigh. I walk people around the headland when we walk the talk in our executive coaching. And then the third outfit was actually having the talk to camera and answering questions by the producer and just sharing some testimonials. So 3 different looks. And within that video, he did splice in a couple of larger keynote shots that I did while I'm talking over the top. And that required some work, because the final piece where I was doing the interviews with him, the day before I slipped on my driveway and really hurt my back. So I was conscious this was a major investment. I'd taken painkillers that morning. I wasn't as vibrant as I wanted to be, but rather than be hung up with that, I found that in that communication, the tone of my voice actually became more certain and softer, and that in turn added a gravitas to the interview that's since pulled people in. So what I thought might be a barrier was actually a really good thing. Worked out fine. Yeah, it worked out fine. The hair, I just did that myself. The makeup, I did that myself. But I'd done television commercials about 20 odd years ago, and my daughter is qualified in health and beauty, and so I'm learning new. Well, if only she lived at home. She doesn't. She's graduated and moved on, but I'm sort of conscious of just really taking care of this vehicle, so that when I'm out there and I'm shooting video, and we're now able to leverage that corporate video that we did as a springboard now to even doing sort of more of the Facebook Live and Zoom recordings and live video courses. Because we take care of ourselves as speakers and as business owners, that then enables us to leverage some of the new trends that are emerging in video conferencing, etc. So that's good. That's very good. That's right.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you sharing all of this. One thing I want everyone to hear, you mentioned to me earlier the results. I believe a meeting planner took your video and played it throughout the conference. Can you share with us a little bit about that?
Yeah. There's a new boldness that comes on you when you decide to back yourself. So I had looked at some conferences that I thought, wow, I should really be speaking on those stages. And I looked at the cost to attend, and I went, no, I'm not going to pay $1,000 to go to that conference. I need to get there some other way. And this was about 6 weeks before the conference was due to get underway. It was the awards for the most exceptional woman in Australian mining and resources. And I spontaneously just looked at the event. I think I may have even found it through Twitter, and I just sent a direct message along the lines of, hey, I was recently online, discovered your event. I want to congratulate you on hosting such an exciting program for women leaders. I'd love to contribute in a small way and wonder if you would be open to receiving a gift from me that you could donate as a prize. And I'm thinking a 10-session coaching program valued at $12,000. Would you be open to that? And the woman who was in charge at the time wrote back and went, oh my gosh, our event planner is on leave. She's due back on Monday. Can I have her phone you? And she did. And she went, oh my gosh, could we award that prize to the national winner of the most exceptional woman in Australian mining and resources? And I went, yeah, that would be amazing. I would love to serve. And that was more than I could have conceived, right, Marquesa? But I in the days that followed, Caroline, my contact as the event planner, said, we'd love to put some of your material out. And I went, well, I'm just waiting for my edited corporate video to come out. Could I make that available? And maybe you could put that on your website. And she went, that's not a problem. And we'll run it at the opening of the event and during breaks as well. So here I went from going, really, I've just spent 5 figures on this massive video and I'd love to be speaking on your stage. I'm not an engineer, so I probably wouldn't get a Guernsey to start there. How about I donate this, join the dots? It's right time, right contact, right method, and leverage, and just choosing to think outside the box. So using that big moment, the big decision was the video. The big moment was to actually go out there and say, hey, why don't I donate a prize, which was part of what I do with the executive coaching. And here's my video. And off the back of that have been 2 coaching assignments that have come out. So that's yielded more than the investment I made in the video. But I continue to use the video, particularly the 30 seconds for the intros. And it's also a great part to have in my media kit and speaker package when I send abstracts in. Here's what we do. Here's how the introduction takes place. Love to work with your AV team. And it sets us apart as professionals. So it was a massive risk, but I felt it was a measured risk, and it has paid off phenomenally. Love it. So I'd encourage anyone to, when they're considering a speaker show reel, don't feel guilty that you don't have one. Don't feel torn. Well, don't fall in. I know, and don't feel that you need to compare yourself to somebody else, but rather what I'm sharing here is what has worked for my brand. Your audience, your brand, your message, your method may all be very different. So this is just one move that worked well for me. My next step is to have that same producer go through and splice together some other speaking engagements and add that in, or just refresh the video for me, because my hair's a little bit different now. My back is not sore like it was that day. So it's always a method of, or a model of continuous quality improvement. I don't think we ever truly arrive. It's give yourself permission, lean in. What are you hearing? What's your inner voice saying about, follow that example. What can you do here? How can you just perform a slight adjustment to your video footage? What can you use in the meantime if you don't have the budget for a speaker show reel? There's some great programs available. I was watching one recently through app Sumo, where they do video editing, super easy. You can do it yourself if you don't have a big team. Super excited for the future of professional speaking, both in the States and here in Australia and around the globe, because I know that many of our listeners are also in the UK and in Europe and as GSF members, and what an extraordinary time to be working in this space. Love it.
Well, Tarran, you are so knowledgeable, and it was great hearing how you took your speaker show reel and you just use it as a positioning tool, a branding tool, and a great way to put yourself out there. And you shared the results with us, the process. I'm not surprised. I got a chance to experience you at the Power Women NSA post session that you co-led with Liz Weber, and it was awesome. Yeah. This is a woman everyone needs to know. I'm not surprised at all. Now, for those that are listening, how can they find you?
Yeah, certainly there's a number of different ways, but of course the authority piece is the website. So if people visit tarrandeane.com, and that's TARRANDEANE.com, and currently that authority video is on the homepage. Just scroll down so you can take a look at it there. Visit on YouTube, connect on LinkedIn at Tarran Deane. There's a wealth of information that's available, and also stay in touch. Come visit us at our convention next year if listeners are interested in visiting Australia. skip across to New Zealand on the way. I know David Avron is doing that, and it's a great time to visit Australia in March. So we'd love to welcome our colleagues down this way. And in the meantime, come on board tarrandeane.com. If I can be of service, just click on the link to schedule a 30-minute call, and happy to have a conversation with any of my colleagues.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For sharing everything. And for all of you, make sure you check out Speaker Magazine. Now, the Big Move column should be in December issue. Sometimes they change it around, so just look for it. Check out Tarran. She's going to share even more things in the magazine.